The gentle hum of the UNSS Mercy's engines filled the bridge as Captain Lisa Jones studied the strange message on her screen. The year was 2157, and humanity had spread across the solar system and to several nearby stars. The Mercy was Earth's newest and most advanced rescue vessel, designed to help anyone in need, human or otherwise. "Captain, I've cleaned up the signal. It's definitely not human," said Olivia Martinez, her communications specialist. The young woman's fingers moved quickly over her console as she worked. Lisa nodded. "Can we tell what they're saying?" "Not exactly, but the tone suggests distress. There are patterns that match universal distress signals. Someone out there needs help." Alan Wright, the ship's science officer, looked up from his station. "I've pinpointed the origin. It's coming from Proxima Centauri b, about 4.2 light-years away. We have a small research outpost there, but this signal isn't from them." Lisa walked to the large viewport and gazed at the stars. This would be humanity's first rescue mission involving an alien species. The United Earth Space Force had encountered 5 different alien civilizations since first leaving the solar system 30 years ago. All contacts had been peaceful, if sometimes awkward, but they had never received a cry for help before. "Have you notified Earth Command?" Lisa asked. "Yes, Captain. They've given us permission to respond," Olivia replied. "They're sending first contact specialist Susan Garcia to join us before we depart." "Good. Dr. Baker, what's the status of Medical Bay?" Paul Baker, the ship's chief medical officer, appeared on a nearby screen. "We're stocking extra supplies now, Captain. Without knowing the alien physiology, we're bringing everything we can think of. My team is ready for any challenge." Lisa smiled. Paul had been with her on 3 previous missions. His calm manner and quick thinking had saved many lives. "Kevin, how's security?" she asked. Kevin Rogers straightened his uniform. As security lead, he always looked a bit tense. "All systems are green, Captain. We'll keep the ship and crew safe, but this is a rescue mission. We're going in friendly." "That's exactly right," Lisa said. "We represent Earth and humanity. We go to help, not to fight." The next 12 hours were busy as the crew prepared for their journey. When Susan Garcia arrived, she brought data files on all known alien species, though she doubted any would match what they might find. "The signal doesn't match any known patterns," Susan explained during the final briefing. "This could be our first contact with a completely new civilization." Lisa addressed her crew of 87 men and women. "We don't know what we'll find at Proxima Centauri, but whatever it is, we'll face it the way humans always have, with courage, compassion, and our best efforts." The Mercy was built for this moment. The ship left Earth's orbit smoothly. Its advanced engines would get them to Proxima Centauri in just 9 days, an incredible feat of human engineering. During the journey, Lisa spoke daily with her husband Daniel and their 10-year-old daughter Grace via video link. The distance meant delays in the signal, but Grace's smile always warmed Lisa's heart. "Mom, will you bring back pictures of the aliens?" Grace asked on the last day. "If they don't mind," Lisa promised. "Remember what I taught you about first contact. Always ask before taking pictures," Grace recited. "Different beings have different rules." "That's my smart girl. I'll be home before you know it." None of them knew that this was the last time they would speak. As the Mercy approached Proxima Centauri, the crew grew more alert. Sensors showed signs of recent violence on the planet. Heat signatures from weapons fire, destroyed structures, and radiation consistent with orbital bombardment. "Life signs?" Lisa asked. Ellen nodded gravely. "Many, but fewer than would be expected for a developed world. Something terrible happened here." "Then we arrived just in time," Lisa said. "Prepare medical teams and shuttles. Whatever hurt these people might still be nearby, so stay alert. But remember why we're here, to help those in need. That's what humanity does." The UNSS Mercy moved into orbit around the wounded planet, not knowing that their act of kindness was about to change the course of galactic history forever. The first shuttle from the UNSS Mercy touched down on the planet's surface. Captain Lisa Jones led her team across the rocky ground, their environmental suits protecting them from the thin, dusty air. Ahead of them lay the ruins of what once must have been a beautiful city. "Movement at 2 o'clock, said Kevin Rogers quietly, his hand near his stunner. The security team formed a protective circle around the medical personnel. From behind a fallen structure emerged a slender being with 6 limbs. Its skin glowed with faint blue patterns that pulsed like a heartbeat. The alien raised 2 of its upper limbs in what seemed like a peaceful gesture. Susan Garcia stepped forward. "We come from Earth. We received your distress call and are here to help." The alien made soft clicking sounds. Susan activated her translation device, but it couldn't decipher the language yet. Still, she continued to speak calmly, using simple words and gentle gestures. More aliens appeared, many injured. Dr. Paul Baker approached one that was limping badly, moving slowly to show he meant no harm. The alien hesitated, then extended a wounded limb. "I've never seen anatomy like this," Paul said as he carefully examined the injury. "But a wound is a wound. Let me help you." Over the next few hours, the Mercy's crew set up a field hospital. The translation devices began to learn the aliens' language, picking up patterns and building a basic vocabulary. The aliens called themselves the HFY, and their world had been peaceful until 3 days ago. "Bad ships came," said one HFY that the crew had named Blue since its markings were more vibrant than others. "Many bad ships, they shot from sky. No warning. Many HFY die." Susan frowned. "Who attacked you? Why?" "Drakari." Blue clicked, the translator struggling with the foreign name. "Drakari say this their space. Say we not belong. But HFY here many thousand years." Lisa took careful notes. "We'll need to report this to Earth. This kind of unprovoked attack violates every standard of galactic conduct we know." As night fell on the alien world, the Mercy's crew had treated hundreds of injured HFY. Paul's team worked tirelessly, adapting human medical techniques to alien bodies. They set up shelters and distributed emergency rations that the HFY could safely eat. "Captain," Olivia's voice came through Lisa's communicator. "We're detecting multiple ships entering the system. They're approaching fast." Lisa tensed. "Identify them." "Unknown design, not Earth vessels. Heavily armed from what our sensors can tell." "Get everyone back to the Mercy," Lisa ordered. "We may need to leave quickly." The crew hurried the most critical patients onto shuttles, while Lisa returned to her ship. From the bridge, she watched as a fleet of angular, predatory-looking vessels surrounded the planet. "They're hailing us," Olivia said. "On screen," Lisa replied. The image that appeared showed a reptilian being with dark scales and sharp teeth. Its yellow eyes narrowed as it studied the humans. "This is Drakari space," the alien growled, the translator working better with this new language. "You trespass." Lisa stood tall. "I am Captain Lisa Jones of the United Earth Space Force vessel Mercy. We responded to a distress call from the HFY. We are on a humanitarian mission." "The HFY are vermin," the Drakari commander hissed. "This planet is claimed by the Drakari Collective. You will leave immediately." "These people need medical attention," Lisa argued. "They were attacked without provocation. We can discuss territorial claims peacefully, but humans have no authority here." The Drakari cut her off. "You have 1 hour to depart." The transmission ended abruptly. "Options?" Lisa asked her crew. Alan looked grim. "They outnumber us 20-1, Captain. The Mercy isn't a warship. We have minimal defenses." "We can't abandon these people," Paul said from the medical bay. Lisa nodded. "Begin emergency evacuation of critical HFY patients. Contact Earth immediately. Inform them of the situation." She paused, looking at the Drakari ships on the view screen. "And prepare the emergency beacon, just in case." No one on the bridge spoke the words they were all thinking. The Mercy might not survive this encounter, but they would do everything possible to save as many lives as they could. It was what humans did, even if it meant risking their own. The hour passed too quickly. On the bridge of the UNSS Mercy, Captain Lisa Jones watched the timer count down to 0. They had managed to evacuate 37 critically injured Xilari to the medical bay, but hundreds more remained on the surface. Drakari ships are powering weapons, Alan Wright reported, his voice steady despite the danger. Open a channel, Lisa ordered. The reptilian face of the Drakari commander appeared again on screen. Your time is up, human. Depart or be destroyed. We're still evacuating injured civilians, Lisa said firmly. This is a medical ship on a humanitarian mission. Attacking us would violate every principle of civilized space. The Drakari commander's yellow eyes showed no compassion. The Drakari Collective does not recognize your principles. This is your final warning. Lisa turned to Olivia. Send the emergency beacon. Make sure it's ready to broadcast everything. Captain. Kevin called out. 4 Drakari ships are moving into firing position. Lisa made her decision. Shields up, continue evacuation, and send this message to the Drakari. The United Earth government will consider any attack on this vessel an act of war against humanity. The crew worked frantically. On the planet below, Paul Baker supervised the loading of more injured Xilari onto the last shuttle. The Drakari are locking weapons on us, Alan said. Lisa stood tall. Record everything. Earth needs to know what happened here. The first blast hit the Mercy with stunning force. The shields held, but alarm signals blared across the bridge. Shields at 60%, Kevin reported. Return fire, Olivia asked. Lisa shook her head. No, we're a rescue ship. We don't have weapons that could make a difference. Focus on shields and getting that last shuttle aboard. Another blast rocked the ship. Shields at 30%, Kevin said, his voice tight. From the medical bay, Paul's voice came through. Last shuttle docking now, Captain. Good, Lisa said. Prepare for emergency jump once they're secure. The Drakari ships surrounded the Mercy, firing continuously now. The human vessel shuddered under the assault. Engine damage, Alan reported. Jump drive offline. Reroute power, Lisa ordered. Get us moving, any direction. Olivia looked up from her station. Captain, the emergency beacon is ready. It contains all sensor data, communications, and ship logs. It will reach Earth in 3 days. Launch it, Lisa commanded. A small, fast probe shot away from the Mercy, immediately jumping to faster-than-light speed before the Drakari could target it. Shields failing, Kevin announced as another hit rocked the ship. Lisa opened the ship-wide communication system. All hands. This is the captain. Abandon ship. Get to the escape pods. She paused, knowing few would make it. It has been my honor to serve with you. On Earth, 3 days later, Daniel Jones was at work when the news broke. Every screen showed the same terrible images. The UNSS Mercy surrounded by alien ships, being torn apart by energy weapons. The footage, transmitted by the emergency beacon, showed the destruction of an unarmed rescue ship. Daniel watched in horror as he saw his wife's ship break apart. His phone rang immediately. It was Grace's school. His daughter had seen the news too. Admiral Eric Thompson stood before the United Earth Security Council, his face grim as the recording finished playing. The emergency beacon contained complete records, he said. 87 crew members and 37 alien refugees were aboard the Mercy when it was destroyed. There were no survivors. A council chamber was silent. What do we know about these? Drakari? Asked President Laura Miller, her voice tight with controlled anger. Nickel Brown, Earth's top strategic analyst, stepped forward. Very little, Madam President. They appear to be an expansionist collective of species with superior numbers, but technology roughly equivalent to our own. They believe us to be weak, Admiral Thompson added. The Mercy had minimal defenses. They may think all our ships are similarly equipped. President Miller stood, looking at the frozen image of the Drakari commander. They murdered our people while they were on a mission of mercy. They must learn that humanity is not weak. She turned to the council. I want options on my desk in 24 hours. Earth will respond to this atrocity, and the Drakari will learn exactly what they've awakened. 3 months passed. On the Drakari-occupied world of the Xilari, a guard looked up at the night sky and saw something strange. A flash of light, then another. The guard reached for his communication device, but before he could report, the ground shook violently. Far above, Commander Ben Lawrence stood on the bridge of the Earth warship Avenger. 4 more warships flanked his position, their weapons already firing at precise targets on the planet below. All military installations targeted, reported Tactical Officer Heather Powell. No civilian areas are being hit. Ben nodded. Good. Keep it that way. We're not like them. Earth had changed in the past 3 months. The destruction of the Mercy had awakened something in humanity that had been sleeping since the Unification Wars. Factories that had been silent for decades now hummed with activity. Ships designed, but never built, were now taking form in orbital shipyards. The experimental quantum displacement drive, previously considered too expensive for regular use, had been installed on all 5 warships of Operation Righteous Response. It allowed them to arrive at Proxima Centauri in just over 2 weeks, a journey that would have taken over a month with conventional drives. Drakari ships rising from the surface, Heather announced. 15. No, 20 vessels. They weren't expecting us so soon, Ben said. Their main fleet is nowhere near. This is our chance to secure the planet. The Earth ships moved with precision that surprised even their crews. The tactical AI systems, developed specifically for this mission, predicted and countered every Drakari move before it happened. Drakari communications are in chaos, said Communications Officer Pete Williams. They're asking how we got here so fast. Their reinforcements are at least 3 days away. In the ship's launch bay, Marine Colonel Carl Johnson addressed his troops. Remember the mission. We're here to liberate the Xilari and secure the planet. The Drakari killed our people, but we are not here for blind revenge. We target combatants only. The Marine dropships launched toward the planet, focusing on the largest Drakari command centers. The Earth forces moved with speed and precision that the Drakari had never encountered before. Within 6 hours, the space above Proxima Centauri was clear of Drakari ships. The ground battle continued, but the outcome was not in doubt. The Drakari were in retreat. Colonel Johnson's team secured the main Drakari command center. Inside, they found the commander who had led the attack on the Xilari world. You're Greshnar? Johnson asked, looking at the reptilian alien who was now their prisoner. I am, the Drakari said, his yellow eyes filled with confusion. How did you get here so quickly? Our intelligence said human ships were slow. You based that on the Mercy, Johnson replied. That was a rescue ship, not a warship. The collective will crush you, Greshnar said. We have hundreds of ships. You have only 5. Johnson smiled grimly. For now. On the Avenger, Ben received the first reports from the surface. The surviving Xilari were emerging from hiding, approaching the human forces with gestures of gratitude. Intelligence Officer Frank Nelson brought important news to the bridge. Commander, we've accessed their databases. We have the coordinates for their fleet movements and their homeworld. Ben nodded. Send it to Earth immediately. The rest of the fleet needs to know what we're facing. There's something else, Frank added. According to their records, the Drakari attacked the Mercy because they believed humans were weak. They thought destroying one ship would scare us away from this sector forever. Ben looked at the tactical display, showing the Drakari forces in retreat. They made a serious mistake. On Earth, President Miller addressed the planet's citizens. Screens showed the first images of the liberated Xilari world and the captured Drakari commander. Phase 1 of Operation Righteous Response is complete, she announced. We have secured the Proxima Centauri system and rescued the surviving Silari. But our mission is not over. The Drakari Collective must learn that attacking peaceful ships and murdering innocent people will not be tolerated. She paused, her expression resolute. The Drakari believe humanity was weak because our first instinct was to help, not harm. They will soon learn that compassion and strength are not mutually exclusive. They will learn the true nature of humanity's resolve. Across Earth, production of warships accelerated. The Drakari had awoken the sleeping giant, and Earth was preparing to show the full extent of its wrath. Supreme Commander Vexcor slammed his fist against the table, cracking its surface. The other Drakari commanders flinched but remained silent. The news from Proxima Centauri had shocked them all. How could 5 ships defeat our garrison? Vexcor demanded. We had 20 ships there. An older Drakari named Shenrock spoke carefully. The humans used technology we haven't seen before. They appeared without warning. Their weapons were precise. Their tactics were unexpected. They are prey species, Vexcor growled, soft-skinned and weak. One dead rescue ship should have sent them hiding in their home system. Perhaps we misjudged them, Shenrock suggested. Vexcor's yellow eyes narrowed dangerously. Are you afraid of these humans, Shenrock? Not afraid. Cautious. We should gather more information before. Before what? Showing weakness. Vexcor turned to the others. The Drakari Collective does not retreat. We do not show fear. We will assemble the Grand Armada and crush these humans completely. On the liberated Silari world, human engineers worked alongside the 6-limbed aliens to rebuild their cities. The surviving Silari, grateful for Earth's intervention, freely shared their knowledge. Your people came when no one else would help, said Blue, now serving as a liaison between the Silari and humans. Many species fear the Drakari. Only humans stood against them. Commander Ben Lawrence studied the star charts that Silari had provided. The Drakari have conquered 12 systems in the last 50 years. No one has successfully resisted them until now. They believe strength is everything, Blue explained. They do not understand mercy or kindness. They saw your rescue ship as proof of weakness. Ben looked at the memorial the troops had built for the Mercy's crew. They were wrong. Frank Nelson entered with a data tablet. Commander, we've intercepted Drakari communications. They're assembling their main fleet, over 200 warships. They're calling it the Grand Armada. How long do we have? 2 weeks at their maximum speed. Ben nodded. Then we have time to prepare. Send word to Earth. Back on Earth, factories worked around the clock. The advanced quantum displacement drives were being installed on 30 new warships. Scientists and engineers had studied the Drakari technology from captured ships and developed counters for their weapons. In her office, President Miller met with Admiral Thompson and the families of the Mercy's crew. Daniel Jones and his daughter Grace sat quietly as the president explained the situation. We've established a forward base at Proxima Centauri, she told them. The Drakari are gathering their fleet for a counterattack, but we'll be ready. Will there be more fighting? Grace asked, her young face serious. Admiral Thompson nodded gently. Yes, but our ships are strong, and our people are brave. Like Mom was, Grace said. Exactly like your mother, the Admiral agreed, his voice soft with respect. Daniel put his arm around his daughter. Lisa would want us to protect the innocent. That's what she died trying to do. President Miller looked at the family with compassion. Your wife's sacrifice wasn't in vain. The Exilary survivors are helping us understand Drakari weaknesses. Together, we're stronger than they expected. In space, the new Earth fleet gathered. 25 ships had already arrived at Proxima Centauri, joining the original 5. More were on the way. Combined with the defensive systems the Exilary helped build around their planet, they created a formidable force. On the flagship Defender, Admiral Thompson arrived to take command of the combined fleet. Status report, he requested as he stepped onto the bridge. All ships in position, Ben reported. The auxiliary defense grid is online. Our new sensor array can detect Drakari ships before they know we're watching them. And the special project? Ben smiled slightly. Ready, sir. The Drakari still don't know we can track their movements across interstellar space. They have no idea what's waiting for them. In the void between stars, the Drakari Grand Armada moved toward Proxima Centauri. Supreme Commander Vexcor stood confidently on his command ship, certain of victory. These humans will learn what happens when you challenge the collective, he told his officers. We will destroy their fleet, then we will find their homeworld and burn it to ash. What Vexcor didn't know was that Earth was listening to every word, and humanity was ready. The Drakari Grand Armada appeared at the edge of the Proxima Centauri system. 213 warships moved in perfect formation, their weapons powered and ready. From their command ship, Supreme Commander Vexcor surveyed what he expected to be an easy battlefield. "Show me the human fleet," he ordered. The tactical display revealed 30 Earth vessels arranged in a defensive pattern around the auxiliary homeworld. Vexcor laughed. "Only 30 ships. This will be over quickly." His tactical officer looked uncertain. "Supreme Commander, our scouts report unusual energy readings from the human vessels. They appear to have upgraded their weapons." "It doesn't matter." Vexcor dismissed the concern. "We outnumber them 7-1. Begin the attack." The Drakari ships surged forward, their engines glowing as they accelerated toward the waiting Earth fleet. Admiral Thompson stood calmly on the bridge of the Defender. Around him, human officers monitored their stations with focused determination. "The Drakari are approaching in standard attack formation," reported Tactical Officer Heather Powell. "They're exactly where the predictive model said they would be." Thompson nodded. "They're confident, too confident. Begin Phase 1. Across the human fleet, a new type of weapon system activated. It didn't fire destructive energy or explosive projectiles. Instead, it emitted precisely calibrated disruption fields that targeted the Drakari shields. "Shield disruptors at maximum," Heather confirmed. 5 seconds to impact. When the invisible wave hit the Drakari fleet, confusion spread across their ships. Shield strength dropped by 40% across their front line. "What was that?" demanded Vexcor as warning lights flashed on his bridge. "Report." "Shields weakening," his officer replied, clearly shocked. "Unknown weapon type. We've never seen this technology before." Before the Drakari could adjust, Admiral Thompson gave his next order. "Phase 2. Captain Mitchell, you're clear to proceed." The Earth vessel Vindicator, commanded by Captain Diane Mitchell, shot forward from the human formation. Its quantum displacement drive activated in a way the Drakari had never witnessed before. The ship seemed to flicker in and out of reality, appearing in one location, then suddenly another. "Target their command ship," Diane ordered her crew. "Precision strikes only." The Vindicator appeared directly above Vexcor's vessel, fired a series of targeted energy pulses that disabled its main weapons, then vanished before the Drakari could return fire. Across the battlefield, more Earth ships began using the same tactic. They would appear, strike with shocking accuracy, and disappear before the Drakari targeting systems could lock on. "Impossible." Vexcor roared as his ship shuddered from another hit. "How are they doing this?" On the Defender, Admiral Thompson watched the battle unfold. Phase 3. All ships, deploy the drones. From each Earth vessel, dozens of small, autonomous craft launched. They moved faster than any manship could, darting between the Drakari vessels and targeting engines, weapons, and communication arrays with surgical precision. The Drakari formation began to break apart as ships lost power or control. What had begun as an overwhelming force was quickly becoming disorganized and vulnerable. "We've neutralized 40% of their fleet," reported Heather. "No Earth ships lost." Thompson turned to Communications Officer Pete Williams. "Open a channel to Supreme Commander Vexcor." Vexcor's angry face appeared on screen. "Human. What trickery is this?" "Not trickery. Technology," strategy, and justice. Thompson replied calmly. You attacked an unarmed rescue ship. You murdered innocent people who came to help others. You thought us weak because we showed mercy. The Drakari do not surrender, Vexcor snarled. I'm not asking for surrender, Thompson said. I'm giving you a choice. Retreat now with the ships you have left, or lose everything. As if to emphasize his point, 3 more Drakari vessels lost power and drifted helplessly in space. For the first time, uncertainty showed in Vexcor's reptilian eyes. The humans had technology the Drakari had never encountered. They fought with precision rather than brute force, and they were winning. This isn't over, Vexcor growled, cutting the transmission. The Drakari commander turned to his officers. Gather what ships can still maneuver. We're withdrawing to regroup. As the damaged Drakari fleet retreated, Thompson addressed his crew. They'll be back with reinforcements. But now they know we're not the easy target they thought we were. On Earth, President Miller received news of the victory. Prepare the next phase, she told her advisors. It's time to take this fight to the Drakari homeworld. 1 week after the battle at Proxima Centauri, the Drakari homeworld received an unexpected message. On every communication channel and screen across their planet, President Laura Miller's face appeared. People of the Drakari Collective, she began, I am the leader of Earth. Your forces attacked and destroyed one of our unarmed rescue ships, the UNSS Mercy. 87 humans died while trying to help others. We gave your leaders a chance to make amends. They chose continued aggression. The transmission showed images of the Earth fleet, now positioned just outside the Drakari home system. We could attack your worlds as you attacked the Xilari. We could destroy your ships as you destroyed the Mercy. But that is not our way. Instead, I offer you one final chance for peace. On the Drakari capital world, chaos erupted. Supreme Commander Vexcor had assured everyone that the humans could never find their homeworld, let alone reach it so quickly. Now an Earth fleet waited at their doorstep. How did they get here? Demanded a member of the Drakari High Council. You said they couldn't track our ships through hyperspace. Vexcor had no answer. Human technology had proven far more advanced than their intelligence suggested. We must fight, he insisted. Gather every ship, every weapon. We cannot show weakness. An older council member named Tharvel stood up. You attacked a medical ship. You murdered healers. And now the humans have beaten our Grand Armada and followed us home. Your leadership has failed us, Vexcor. Other council members began to nod in agreement. For generations, the military leaders had controlled Drakari society, pushing for constant expansion and conflict. Now that policy had brought a powerful enemy to their doorstep. Guards, arrest Vexcor, Tharval ordered. The time for needless aggression is over. As Drakari security forces surrounded the surprised Supreme Commander, the Council opened a channel to the Earth fleet. Admiral Thompson received the transmission on the bridge of the Defender. The face that appeared on screen was not Vexcor's, but an older Drakari with faded scales and thoughtful eyes. I am Tharval of the Drakari High Council. We wish to discuss terms for peace. Thompson nodded respectfully. We're ready to talk. 1 month later, representatives from Earth, the Drakari Collective, the Xilari, and 12 other alien civilizations gathered in a great meeting hall on Earth. It was the first interstellar conference of its kind. President Miller addressed the assembled delegates. From tragedy, we have found a path to something better. The destruction of the UNSS Mercy showed us that we needed to be stronger, but it also reminded us why we explore space in the first place, to help, to learn, and to connect. The new Drakari leadership, led by Tharval, had agreed to significant changes. They would withdraw from conquered territories, pay reparations to the Xilari, and join a new alliance called the Interstellar Cooperative. In the center of the hall stood a beautiful memorial, a statue showing Captain Lisa Jones reaching out a helping hand. Around it, the names of all 87 crew members of the Mercy were inscribed in glowing letters. Daniel Jones and his daughter Grace stood before the memorial. Grace, now wearing the uniform of an Earth Space Force cadet, placed her hand on her mother's name. "I start training next month," she told her father. "I'm going to serve on a rescue ship, just like Mom." Daniel smiled with a mixture of pride and sadness. "She would be so proud of you." Admiral Thompson joined them. "We're commissioning a new class of vessels," he explained. "The first one launches next year. The UNSS Lisa Jones. It's both a rescue ship and a warship, because we've learned we need to be both compassionate and strong." On the newly rebuilt Silari homeworld, humans and aliens worked side by side. Blue, now an official ambassador, helped coordinate joint scientific research. "The stars are filled with wonders and dangers," Blue told a group of human and Silari children. "But together, we are safer than alone." In deep space, Earth ships patrolled trade routes that had once been too dangerous to travel. Other civilizations, inspired by humanity's stand against the Drakari, began building their own rescue ships modeled after the Mercy. The destruction of a single rescue ship had changed the galaxy forever. The Drakari had thought they were attacking weakness, but instead they had awakened humanity's greatest strength, the will to protect others, no matter the cost. They had not expected Earth's wrath, and in facing it, the galaxy had found a new path forward, one of cooperation rather than conquest. As the new UNSS Lisa Jones prepared for its maiden voyage, its mission statement was displayed proudly on the bridge: "To heal when possible, to defend when necessary, to remember always."